Looks like we've got snow and lots of it.
Maybe Christmas perhaps means a little bit more.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
The most famous mid-market show you've never heard is back. New episodes, new stories, all new Darwin and Cat.
And ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. Happy holidays. I'm not calling you that. I'm just getting festive.
You know, you
in the holiday
can.
mood.
You can.
It wouldn't be anything new me calling you names, right?
It makes me even more festive.
Hi, Kat. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Darwin.
We are starting our holiday special off with a blooper. It's one of my favorite audio tracks of all time from us, so let's give that a listen.
And open our hearts to the many disadvantaged children in our local area.
Toys for Joy.
Nay. I'm thinking toys for tots.
Take 97.
I'll get it this time. God damn it. All right.
Okay, that never gets old. I laugh at it all the time.
I tried
Kat,
so
do you love
hard.
that?
I love it. I tried so hard. I really wanted to like do a good spot. Toys for
Yeah.
tots. Joy? What? It's confusing.
I think the best part of it was I was putting together the spot and I left the Christmas bed under it accidentally before I got the part of you swearing out. And it was kind of an accident. It just made it funny. So we bleeped it out and we played it on the air because we just thought it was so funny. And I still chuckle at it all the time because it's all the merry, happy music and you're all happy and you're like, mother.
Freaking Christmas. God damn it. I love that spot. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me of that.
You're welcome. I think it sums us up really well for the holiday season at all. Totally.
I love Christmas, and I know you love Christmas, and it's something we have in common.
It is. And it was kind of funny because when we were doing the morning show together, we were the last station that was the Christmas station.
That's
we
true.
were not. Yeah, we were not at all. Back at EQX, the owner, for all as much of a curmudgeon as he was, Christmas Eve, it was wall-to-wall Christmas music from all genres,
Right.
including alternative.
We did not flip to Christmas because I don't think System of a Down had a lot of Christmas songs.
No, and if they have one, I'm not sure is it like Silent Night, Holy Night? Rawr? You know, I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to make
very-
a whole format out of that.
And so we didn't get to really do much holiday stuff, which I think bummed us out a lot because we love it so much. But we did have a lot of holiday goings on around the station. So in an episode not too long ago, things got a little dark. Darwin and Cat go to war.
Yeah.
But we talked about Carmine. That was funny. And Carmine every year, remember the gift he would give us?
Ah, the gift of food. Carmine's food.
A
Amazing.
giant tray of
Yep.
calamari.
Mm-hmm.
Perfectly cooked as part of like the Christmas Eve special. That was so nice. Like I'm talking that thing. How much do you think that would cost today? Like $200?
Oh, at least. I love
it was
calamari.
amazing.
And I always say to myself, don't think squid. Don't think squid. Think crispy, yummy calamari.
Mm-hmm. And it was this homemade, that homemade Sunday gravy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, amazing.
Oh, now I'm hungry. So it was cool. We would get that, and some of the other stations wouldn't. And people were like, how come you got the Carmine gift? We're like,
Why are you
"I don't
guys
know.
getting the squid?
They like
It's
us more.
calamari.
And the people that got the most incensed were the station that went all Christmas in the cluster, all the 6 stations. And do you remember the first year there was the beef about the Christmas station, the fight
Yeah.
behind the scenes?
Yeah, it was between Magic and B95.
Yes.
And it
they
was
chose Magic to flip to Christmas.
Oh, right. So
and
it
B95
was
got mad.
yeah, it was this whole beef between like the oldies type station and the mom music station, and it was just a complete showdown.
They were mad. I mean, this is just the hilarity of it, right? You've got all this cheerful Christmas music. We wish you a merry, right? All happy.
Ho ho
And
ho.
behind the scenes, it's a brawl.
Oh, it is. I'm like, are they going to settle it in a duel or bring this to a cage? How's this going to shake out?
It was ugly.
It was wild.
So the management decided which of the 2 stations would get to play all the Christmas music. And when that happens, yeah, like all the listeners just kind of all go to that station. That's why they start in like October now. They were so mad behind the scenes. I remember one of the stations, they were like fighting it out and they were like, well, why don't you appear at the mall and you guys can be in like a Santa suit and weren't they like humiliating themselves? And like, do you remember
I think they forced Chuck, Chuck and Kelly who did mornings, Chuck into a Santa suit, and was Kelly like squeezed into a snowman outfit?
I feel like they forced her
Snow
into
lady
that.
outfit? Snow them? I don't know if it was like a gendery kind of outfit. It was just a snow outfit.
Person. Yeah.
Yeah, snow person.
Yeah, they were so miserable.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know what? For once, it wasn't us.
I think we would have. They never even thought of having us be out there to like greet the public as like, jovial elves.
No, we could dodge that bullet. And it was just kind of this behind the scenes fight between the two stations over Christmas music. And how about the holiday parties? They were legendary. They were something else.
Well,
Like, they
Albany
were just a holiday party.
Broadcasting would throw, a big party for all the stations. But I remember that one year, it was kind of a dicey year in terms of revenue. Do you remember what they left out to save money?
Oh, the desserts, right?
They're like, oh, we're not serving dessert this year because we can't afford it. We gotta buckle our Santa belts.
And it was like, bye, go.
Yeah,
No
and that was
dessert.
it. They just dumped
Merry
us out on the street without a little treat or some sort of tart.
That was the year one of the hosts, I got to tell the story carefully. One of the hosts from one of the other stations, and remind me when this sounds familiar, was emceeing.
Uh-huh.
And he got up there and he was telling jokes and it was funny. And then he says, where's the, I'm going to say redacted executive name's wife? Betty Ford. You're laughing. You remember this. Where's redacted name?
And he
Betty
said it out.
Ford.
Where is she? Pause. Betty Ford. And the place went silent. Do you know why?
Kind of was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because she was in rehab.
She kind of was.
Yeah. She just went on a little holiday to take care of her health. But he didn't know that.
No idea.
He had no
None.
idea.
And he ended up leaving the company a few months later, and I'll forever believe it was over that oopsie doodle. It was a funny joke. It was innocent.
At
but
a
I swear
price. It was a good joke.
Yeah.
It was solid.
And the next year, the Christmas party was in January.
Yeah, they
which
did
wasn't
that
very
to
festive.
save money.
So it was always on trade, though, too. So in radio, there's this trade. Have we talked about trade? I don't think we
I don't think
really
so.
brought
You
this
can
up.
explain it.
So trade is where they go to an advertiser and they literally trade. They say, we will give you X amount of ads if you give us this. Maybe it's an item to give away. And sometimes we would give them away on the air as prizes. Other times they'd say, maybe if they give us $200 worth of dinners and our staff can go out to eat. So a lot of times the Christmas party was trade. The hotel was at, or the food, the catering. I guess they couldn't trade desserts that one year.
Everything down to the napkins was pretty much on trade. When it
There
says
was one-
Suzuki on all the plates and napkins, you know it's trade.
There was one year they were giving away prizes and it was cool. They were like, until it was like the prizes were like, oh, and it was like the door prize. Remember, everybody was getting a prize and it's like, Cat, you get a free car wash. Yay.
Yay.
Darwin, you get, I won jewelry, like a gift certificate for like a jeweler. It's like, what am I going to do with this?
Wow,
What?
thanks. I really wanted to buy an ear cuff.
It was like $100 for or $200 for a jewelry store. Groceries, tires. There was like tires. I mean, we were kind of poor. That wasn't a bad one.
But how festive did we not feel like January 4th for the Christmas party?
I feel like it was even like January 20th.
Oh,
even, right?
God, even worse.
I don't know. I don't know. It was sometime later on.
Everyone is holiday fatigued at that point and starting to pay off debt.
Nobody is festive at all. At that
No.
point. No, we're done.
Nope,
We've moved
done.
on. We don't want to eat food either because we've all made resolutions we're planning to break.
I swear, I'm starting up that gym membership tomorrow.
I swear. I'm
Yes. 6 a.m. I'll be there.
One of my favorite memories from our show, and it tied into your childhood, was one morning on the air, you were talking about rum balls. Do you remember the rum balls?
Of course. Well, like many Italian American kids, I didn't grow up so much on like Hostess and Ding Dongs and Twinkies. My family had rum balls. And I just remember my aunt over the holidays. Now let me set the scene. Big hair, dark eyeliner, a cigarette. And she'd take the cigarette out of her mouth and say, "Hey kids, who wants rum balls?" And we'd all come running. I mean, there's nothing like a 5-year-old getting drunk on cake.
And I remember my mother heard us talk about the rum balls. So she found them.
She ran with it.
She did, and she found them. She was all proud of it. And my mom's so great. She was wonderful. And she was so excited to give them to me for Christmas. And honestly, they were kind of terrible. They They kind of taste a little bit like dollar store, right? Is that a good way to describe them?
Rum balls, I remember, were kind of terrible, but I just wanted rum balls.
She still would buy them. It was cute because she knew we'd like, and I think I had said I want to try them. They sound good. They sound fun. But yeah, so
There's
it's
4
kind of a
rum
joke
balls
now.
left. I'm going to finish them. Come on, kids.
Your grandmother's got some rum balls.
My Gen X
So,
childhood.
God bless my mom too. I love her so much.
I
She's
love
so
your
great
mom,
to
too.
like do that. But
And
yeah, it was
thank
really
you,
funny.
Darwin's mom, for carrying on the rum ball tradition.
Yes, once in a
Doesn't-
while she'll still see them.
Doesn't matter that they might taste like sawdust.
But they're a tradition now, and they're cute. She did buy some one year that were kind of good. They actually had they were good.
Maybe they
Ish.
weren't rum balls.
There were some other balls.
Yes.
Well, but we both grew up really Italian, and I mean, I know your Christmases were super Italian, weren't they?
Mhm. Yeah, I didn't even realize. I think I didn't realize till I was 21 that most people don't have lasagna on Christmas Day.
Wow, that's crazy.
A friend of mine said, "Yeah, of course we have turkey. That's traditional." I'm like, "No, wait, you just had that on Thanksgiving."
No, who's turkey on Christmas? Lasagna, you have or ham.
Well, yeah, ham too.
Ham too.
But yeah, very Italian. I had no idea what other people did.
It is. It's you're in your own world with it. We always did Christmas Eve. That was our big thing. So did you do the 7 fishes for Christmas Eve? Because we did a variation of it.
Yeah, we did the 7 fishes, but we would tap out at about 3 because we were lazy. And think about it, like once you get up to 6, like how many are there? What are you gonna do? Minnows?
You just kind of get fatigue. Yeah, I mean, but then we could cheat on it too. Like you could put maybe some clam juice in the sauce and be like, that
I
counts,
don't-
right?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, that's why they sell clam juice, right? So you can cheat on your 7 fishes.
Yeah, we
You got
never
clams.
got up to 7. It just seemed a little much.
I feel like we did, but I feel like we did a cheat to get there. I don't know. Sometimes you got the calamar, right? And you got the clams and the mussels, and you got the round things that I can't think of the name of them right now. The little white round things.
Shrimp?
No, shrimp's another one.
Okay.
The things, scallops. I couldn't think of what they're called. Jesus, I'm like the things, dude. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I lost count already. See, too much to think
whatever.
about.
It's yeah.
But it has
7,
to be an odd number,
the 7-ish fishes.
right? But some people do 9.
What?
I don't know where they're finding them.
No, that's
Yes,
no. There's something
Yeah.
wrong with them.
I don't know. 3's fine. Odd number has to be an odd number. That's the rule, right?
Right. There are rules. And one of the things I love about Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
Darwin has rules.
Oh yeah.
Do we want to get into all your Christmas rules?
So okay, I'm a little bit of a traditionalist, but I also am going to say I go all the way gay for Christmas. I'm going to put that out there, right? And I was sort of too kind of Christmas is the reason I got into radio in a little bit of a way.
Whoa. I want to
Yeah,
hear
I got a
about this.
radio. Yeah, I got a radio for Christmas once. It was just a little radio. And I started tuning in on the AM side, the ancient modulation to faraway stations. And I would pick up WQEW from New York City, who they played like big band music and they played like swing music. And then I was just amazed I could listen to radio from far, far away.
Is that
I just thought it
what's
was cool.
called DXing? Or is that when you take too much cough syrup?
It's both, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
DXing? Is that what that is?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is. People still do that, but they try to tune in stations and identify them from really far away. It's kind of a hobby. It used to be a bigger deal, and I would do that even when I started listening to talk radio, oddly, when I was maybe in 5th or 6th grade. And we had this whole, I know I'm veering off a little, but we had this whole walkout at our school over a bus driver that got fired. And I called in to the Gil Gross show
Oh, wow.
to tell him, he had an open line, and I called in as a little 6th grader. And he told me to call back in 2 weeks with an update in the situation, which I did. And he put me on the air both times. This was my first time on the radio. And I was
Oh,
like,
that's so cute.
and he asked for my address, and he actually sent me the cassette tapes. And I
thought he
really
was
sad.
like showing up at your door.
No, Gil
Hey,
Gross is
kid.
cool. He,
No, it's
despite the last name.
legendary.
Yeah, really cool guy. I lost the tapes, and I feel bad about that. 'Cause I
Oh,
really,
man.
I kept, yeah, I know.
You were like
nice
that
guy.
annoying kid who kept calling. I remember you.
He's actually a sweet guy.
That's great.
Really smart guy, and still does some special programs for CBS. But yeah, so I have a lot of weird standards for Christmas. All right. So first of all, the tacky level cannot exceed like 1960s tacky.
Okay.
So like white Christmas trees, cool. That's all right. Like a pink tree, it's fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
But inflatables in the yard,
Oh,
I hate
no,
them.
no. That's a no-go.
Totally trashy, right?
Right.
I mean, I think they should be banned. I put aside freedom of speech. They're effortless. There's no class. I have very strong opinions against them. What do you think? Like, you're not a fan?
No, I love white trees, pink trees, purple trees, any kind of fake tree. But yeah, don't blow into them.
Right. Okay, good.
Yeah.
And then how about
Same
those
page.
erratic lights that flash like a seizure? I hate that. It's annoying. It's uncreative. I just can't.
Preach. Keep going.
Okay. But also, favorite era? 1940s and 50s decor, like the very classic, simple, the garland, the tinsel, the white lights, green and red are okay too. Like nice glass ornaments. You can throw a Dunkin' Donuts cup ornament in there for fun, but that classic Christmas, right? Like I'm very, and we'll get to music later because I got a lot of rules on that too. But you've got a bizarrely photographic memory, and I'm sure you remember being really, really young, and this is where like these traditions go back for me. So what's something you can remember from Christmas?
I was 3 and I got a set of golf clubs.
A what? Like a kid's set, right? Like a little plastic one?
Nope. This was a full size of adult golf clubs. There's a putter and a driver. Oh, and my parents gave me a coffee can full of golf balls.
Wait, you were 3?
I was 3 years old. This is my first real Christmas memory. And the clubs and the bag were taller than I was. And I remember my dad making a really big deal out of how expensive this thing was. And I couldn't figure out what to do with it.
I mean, why? What? Why?
I've thought about this a lot through the years. And all right, so an Italian-American family, we're living in Staten Island, New York, and I think they fell off a mob guy's truck and my dad got a deal. I cannot think of any other reason why I would have an adult set of golf clubs.
I'm speechless. And having met your father, I can hear him saying it like,
come on, kiddo, you're going to learn to play golf today.
And dragging it around. I'm almost picturing this scene. Wow. Oh, did you ever use them or no?
No.
Your father went out and used them, right?
And but that's the weird thing. We were not like a golf family to look at us like, oh, they belong to a country club. Like, no, we were not a golf family. We were maybe a miniature golf family. We were not an actual golf family.
Yeah, same with mine. No, and I feel like a lot of Italians get offended about mob talk.
Well,
let's admit it. Okay.
Yeah.
We all had that mysterious uncle with, and I'll say air quotes, who had a business.
Yeah.
But my Uncle Carm, he had a tie factory, but he actually did. He actually had a tie factory.
Like there were actual ties being made.
Yeah, neckties. But I mean, everyone said he was totally the mob. But I know you had more direct proof in your family, didn't you?
My great uncles, who are now long dead, were connected to a mob family that everybody has heard of.
Everyone. So like,
let me put it this way.
Okay.
Yeah. When I went to the Mob Museum here in Las Vegas, I thought I was looking at family photos. So I think it's likely that these golf clubs came from some sort of situation, through my dad was, he was a hardworking, legit business guy, but, we knew people.
Can you just put situation in air quotes?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a situation.
Wow. So those golf clubs, they didn't. Okay. All right.
They were somebody's golf clubs at one point.
They showed up. Merry Christmas. So, Kat, earlier I mentioned I'm a bit of a traditionalist.
You're not just a traditionalist. Darwin has fucking rules for Christmas.
I do. Okay. That is the phrase. All right. So let's talk about, and I've talked a little bit about them, music.
Very important.
Very, very strict rules. A little shameless self-promotion. So I've done a very retro Christmas with Darwin and on WEXT for over 10 years. And it's a 8-hour program that airs Christmas Eve. And they cut it up into 1 hour. They air each night leading up to Christmas Eve. And it's old music. And I love Christmas music, but it's got to be old. It has to be classic. But I have a few, like 4 or 5 moderns that are okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. So The Waitresses.
Oh, Christmas rapping. Absolutely. Yes.
Love that song. That's okay. Remember the Whirling Dervishes? They were a one-hit wonder with You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch.
Oh, of course.
That one's okay.
Yes.
Bare Naked Ladies with Sarah McLachlan. God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. That one's okay.
It's okay.
That's a random one. It's not great. So I also have this other one that was on Nickelodeon on Saturday nights in the 90s had Snick. And there was this show Roundhouse. And it was kind of like an SNL for teenagers. Mm-hmm. And there was this Christmas song nobody could ever find. And I can't believe no one's ever covered it or whatever. It was called World Be Still. And I've always thought it was one of the most awesome things I've ever heard. So if that were like released, that would be on my okay list. And anything by the Muppets, that's cool too.
Absolutely.
But besides that, nothing new. Has to be, you know, old, like Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra, you know, all the
You don't want to
traditional
even
stuff.
see Mariah Carey just like
Hell no. Mm-mm.
descending from a cloud
No,
into
she's like
your
stabbing a
onto your
hole in the
Christmas
door
tree.
with a
Mhm.
microphone. Like, no. But you know what I hate more than Mariah Carey?
What?
The Carpenters. I hate the Carpenters. Something about Karen Carpenter makes my skin crawl.
What did Karen Carpenter do to you?
Okay, I have a conspiracy theory, and it's the worst thing I'm ever going to say out loud. You ready?
Yeah.
If Mama Cass had shared half of that ham sandwich with Karen Carpenter, they'd both be here today.
Amen.
That's the worst thing I've ever said.
I have Carpenter trauma from being a kid.
You do?
Yeah. A little off topic, but remember those like 8-track, you know, you can get like 8-track tapes and records for like a penny, like the Columbia Records Club.
Oh, yeah. And they kept sending them.
Yeah, my parents signed me up for that, but they wouldn't let me pick my own music, and they only let me buy the Carpenters on 8-track. So I had like the best of Carpenters, more Carpenters, the best of Karen Carpenter. And I was so embarrassed of this stuff, I would hide them under my bed under a towel.
I don't blame you. That's PTSD right there.
Yeah. And today I think, wow, she had a beautiful voice and she was a drummer. She was very talented. But I just think back to that towel of shame. And I'm still embarrassed. So I'm saying I understand you, Darwin.
I actually don't understand me. I don't know why I have this.
Well,
like,
I understand you.
Thank you. You're the only one. I scream when I used to love holiday traditions on Sirius XM, and then they started with the carp creep, as I call it. Starting playing Carpenter.
And that's it.
But I can't. I almost I hit the button to change the station so fast. The radio almost goes through my dashboard. I can't handle her where she's like, Christmas time.
I thought
Blah.
Richard and Karen were married when I was little, and then I found out they were brother and sister, and it just creeped me out.
See, but there you go. There's the proof. Like, there's something wrong.
Yeah, there
with
was
that.
something going on.
So yeah, that sets my hair on fire. So like anything prior to anything in the 60s is great. Anything like, I love it. Even the Ronettes are great. It's cool.
Oh, the Phil Spector Christmas album is freaking masterpiece.
He was a wackadoodle, but
Yeah, well, yeah, but he had his time and day.
yeah, he did. And go back, even the big band stuff, those are great. You know, some of the Glenn Miller stuff, some of the, I don't know, I love it. I
So
love it.
there
That's my rule.
any more recent songs and Christmas songs that you like?
Yeah. I have one that this is going to ruin all my credibility. I have a bad taste song, okay, that looks like I have bad taste. And you're probably going to shame me for this.
Oh, God, tell
It's
me.
a newer one.
Tell me. What is it?
It's by Wham, Last Christmas.
I love Last Christmas.
You do?
I love that song. And I see the video with George Michael in his little Christmas sweater, and I cry. I love Last Christmas.
Yeah, I do. It's a sad song, but I actually love it. And it's one of my other exceptions to the new, but I mean what?
1984 or something.
Yeah.
It's like 40 years
ago.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. The very next day, you shit in my car. It's just something really sad and romantic.
Yeah, it's just all wrapped up in one. I'm not sure that's the lyric, but I'm going to go with that.
I had no idea. I love that song.
It is. So that was my... Okay, so I was worried about confessing them because I feel like that's the one I get judged on.
You could always come to me. I mean, I'm always judging, but you can always talk to me.
Okay, I usually get judged for my Carpenter's rant for no reason. Good. I feel good now. So yeah, if it's old, it's good for the most part, except for, yeah. Although okay, do you remember? I just had a memory pop into my head. That's where memories are. That's a dumb phrase. Sorry. Okay. Do you remember the interview that just came back to me? That got dropped on us out of nowhere, and I forgot how it even happened. And it was like Elmo without Patsy, or Elmo and Patsy. Do you remember they showed up at the radio station because they had a new album?
Oh God!
Do you remember this?
Yeah, like the grandma got run over by a reindeer people.
Yes, they just showed up out of nowhere. Do you remember this? And they had some
They just sprung that on us.
They were just there, and we had to put them on for some reason. I forgot all about that till just now.
And we were like, so how is grandma doing? Did she ever heal from her injuries?
Yeah, they were not.
They didn't
want to talk to us about it. Was it just him without her, or were they both together?
I think Patsy was in the car. They were fighting.
Where's Pat? I think it was Patsy. I don't remember. I just remember they showed up. It was or him. I don't know. I just forgot all about that till now. It was that memorable, and it was some new album. Yeah, see, I forgot about that.
Wow.
Oh my god! But that song I'm okay with, depending on the year. Every now and then I'm like, okay, it's kind of funny. And other years I'm like, this is so stupid.
Okay, I remember one that was really, really depressing. I think it was called Mama's Christmas Shoes.
Yes. Oh, I hate that song.
What do you remember the horrifically sad plot of Mama's Christmas Shoes?
I think it's just Christmas shoes. I
Oh,
think it's
whatever. I just made it
yeah.
sadder. But it's this little girl and she has to go like sell her mom's shoes because she's dying or something. Or
I don't know.
buy shoes.
I feel like every time someone goes, oh, I love that song, I'm like, listen, sad sack, get the hell out of here. Like, no one's got time for that. You're right. That's that song. Anybody that likes that song, they deserve jail time.
That is a miserable song.
Yes. And it should never exist again. There ought to be a law. What are we banning now? We're banning inflatables and Christmas shoes and Karen Carpenter.
Okay, but as an Italian American, I have to ask you a very important question.
Yes.
How do you feel about Dominic the donkey?
I love it because my grandfather was Dominic.
Ah, nice. My great uncle was Dominic.
All right. You got
Yes.
we have a ton of
Everybody's got
Dominics.
like an Uncle Dom in the family.
I have one of those too. Yep. And a cousin and my nephew. Yeah, we got all these Dominics.
Mhm.
So, I mean, how do you feel about it?
I've made my peace with it. I have.
So you
used
didn't like it?
It used to irritate me, but now I've come to my senses.
So we grew up with it because, it was Papa.
Yep.
It was like, it was a song. I'm never sure what he thought about it. He never let us on about it.
He never had strong Dominic the donkey opinions.
He would just kind of bop along with it. And
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
if he
what you
liked it or hated
It's a
it.
donkey.
Yeah. I mean, he's got Peppino, the Italian mouse. I mean, Lou Monte has a whole bunch of different other, I think it's Peppino. I don't know. I liked it. It reminds me of my grandfather. I think that's why. But I know there's people that hate that one. So that's
How dare they? There are
Right?
rules. You're supposed to like Dominic the donkey. See, I'm glad we're getting all these rules out there.
There's not just rules. There's what kind of
There
rules?
are fucking Christmas rules.
Thank you. And these apply to movies too.
Oh, absolutely.
So there's a lot of Christmas movies I love, but some of them are really obscure and some of them are not, but they have to, I have some rules, right? So, some of them are like, for example, if you tell me Ernest Saved Christmas is your favorite movie, you're dead to me.
Go die.
We're
done.
Have you ever seen that? I saw that once.
Leave the human race immediately.
So, okay, let me go through my list. Do you have a list in your head?
Yeah.
That you can, okay.
Yeah, I got a
So,
couple.
Holiday Inn, which is,
Oh, yeah.
except for the blackface scene, which is so cringeworthy.
That's problematic.
But the song in it's so great, but it's so cringy. And I know Bing Crosby actually was uncomfortable that scene, and they kind of made him do it.
What a way to ruin a memory. Oh, except for the blackface.
Yeah.
Like, oh, God.
But I do appreciate the way TCM, Turner Classic Movies, explains that when they show a movie with that removing it is erasing something awful that was done from the historic record. So I get that. So if you do watch it and you fast forward to the scene, I get it. That's the scene I can do without. But the movie as a whole, good.
Mm-hmm.
But even better, White Christmas.
Oh, bang.
He's in both, but he's so much better in White Christmas, right? And that story.
Wait, blackface, forget it.
No, blackface and White Christmas.
Okay.
They cut that.
Yeah.
Yeah. White Christmas, you're safe. But I always, I'm going to confess, I don't bawl, but I always get a little teary at the scene of White Christmas.
Like
when
your eye gets a little winky right there.
a little bit. Yeah, right there. When they all get together for the general and they're all in their uniform and they surprise him. I always do that scene. I'm always like, oh, like I love that movie. It's just such a great, it's one of those movies you can watch and truly forget the world and really enjoy. Right?
Absolutely.
And I'm going to get to some obscure ones.
Okay.
All right. Christmas in Connecticut.
Tell me about it.
Barbara Stanwyck was in it, and she plays kind of Martha Stewart of her era, except for she's not really. So she writes for a magazine, and she pretends to live on a farm in Connecticut, except for she lives in an apartment in New York City, and she can't cook.
Something we can all relate to.
Yeah, right. And her Uncle Felix owns a restaurant. He gives her the recipe. It's a really fun story. Well, so there's the soldier coming back from World War II who kind of wants a home cooked meal. And so he ends up having, basically her boss says he's going to spend the holiday with you. So she's got to find a farm and a husband and this whole thing. And she ends up falling in love with the soldier. It's a really good movie. It's a really great movie.
And there's 30% less blackface in this movie.
Stop yourself. There's no blackface in it. No, this one's safe. You're safe from
Okay,
the
good.
only one's Holiday Inn. The only one,
Okay.
yeah, these. So you're good.
Got it.
That one's safe. All right. Another one, The Man Who Came to Dinner.
Oh, yes.
Yes. it's
That's
an
a
overlooked
great
one.
movie.
It's funny as hell. It's a real funny movie. So if you've never seen that one, it's another. These are black and white, by the way, for people except for White Christmas. These are black and white movies that are really old. That one's just funny as hell. He comes to, visit and ends up overstaying his welcome, and it's fun. It happened on Fifth Avenue, another movie from the 40s. So that one, a bunch of homeless people, they every year break into this. It's like the second wealthiest guy in the world's mansion, and they live in there.
Starting out good.
And, yeah. So he ends up posing as a homeless person to live among them. And he ends up doing all these nice things for them, but he doesn't let them all know it's him. And it's actually a really nice movie. It's a really feel good movie. And then I got one more I have others. I could keep going,
Okay.
but I'm going to fast forward all the way to the modern era, or at least semi-modern. The one that I really love because the story in it is the love story in it is falling in love with Christmas, right?
Mhm.
And it's probably one of the funniest movies ever made. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Yeah, you're clapping,
An
right? Is that on your list?
absolute classic. I
Yes.
love that movie. It is Christmas once I see that movie.
I agree. Aunt Bethany is my favorite character. She's just the most quotable one because she can't hear shit. And she's just Grace. She died years ago. I mean, it's just, and the squirrel out of the tree. I mean, everything about that movie, it's going to happen. And you laugh your ass off every time. By the way, they just tore down that house on the back lot, the old Columbia Ranch.
Oh, God, how sad.
They tore down in the last year or two. They tore down the whole back lot. That all those. I mean, it was the exterior was on the back lot. The inside was a set. So those are some of my top picks. What do you got for Christmas?
My list is pretty short, but my all-time favorite is Miracle on 34th Street. The original, not some 90s bullshit, no colorization,
Yeah.
with Natalie Wood before her life got weird.
Yes.
I love the whole setup of it really is Santa and no one believes this poor fool and he has to prove it in court that he's Santa.
That's another classic one. I could add that to my list. I love that one. The original.
The original. Pulls
Yes.
on his beard. Oh, it really is him.
Yes.
I love that movie. And I'm going to stick up for the much maligned It's a Wonderful Life. A lot of people
that's
think
beautiful.
I love this movie, and a lot of people are like, oh, that's such a cliche. That's such a happy movie. It's a really freaking dark movie. George Bailey is on the verge of suicide, and he's just about to end it all. And then the angel comes to him, Clarence, and shows what his life would be like without him. That's kind of dark for the times.
It is. And actually, the love story in it is love for himself and his family and for the holiday. I agree. I really, here's some funny, and it's a long movie.
Yeah.
But I never saw the whole thing until 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I've seen parts of it. I finally watched the whole thing, and I was in love with it before I saw the whole thing. That's a good one.
You remember
too.
the part that was supposed to be very tragic of the day, that if he killed himself and he never met his wife, she would have become a librarian. You would have helped
No.
children and adults learn to read and foster a love of books if he would have never been around. I mean, things have kind of changed, but
And it was kind of mean in a way. It's like, I'm a librarian.
she would have worn glasses and worked in a library and had like just
Spinster.
super butch short curly hair. That's what happened to you, Toots. But I do love
But
that
It
movie.
is a great movie. It
Yep.
really is. And I agree. I think these are they're fun. So these are our rules, right? These fit into the rules, right? You got to have the right movies.
These are our fucking rules.
I know there's people like Elf. It's okay.
Yeah.
How about A Christmas Story? I don't like it.
I liked it at the time. I liked it when I saw it as a little kid. A little kid getting his tongue stuck to a pole, and the leg lamp. Does it hold up though? I don't know. I actually
I know.
haven't seen it since I was, like 10 years old.
My husband hates it.
Really?
He actually hates that movie. Yeah.
Tell
he
me,
hates it.
make a case, Darwin, why that movie sucks.
You know what? It's not what I mean. There's some funny scenes. The
Mhm.
getting your tongue stuck to the flagpole, the leg lamp. Like, there's little memorable
Iconic scenes.
There are, but some people they love it. I don't know. I because he hates it, I haven't actually watched it in a while.
It's an incredibly cheap looking movie too. Like when you see it, it's like, God, did they make this for like $5?
I think the last time I watched it, I felt depressed afterward. Like I was looking at a Rust Belt city in decline.
Maybe you needed some rum balls. That'll
The
perk
rum
you up.
balls.
Yes.
They would have fixed it.
Bringing it back.
Damn it. No, I'm just going to stick with most of my TCM movies, you know? I just thought of some others too. We could keep going with this all night.
Yeah.
There's some other good ones too. But yeah, there's so many good movies out there. But all right, so we got our rules set. We got our decor. We got our music, our foods. So I think we're pretty good. And hey, Kat, I will say, Christmas is a time to be, I know Thanksgiving is too, but Christmas to be really thankful for what you have. And I do want to say I'm really thankful we're doing this show again. And I'm really glad that our friendship has endured. And it's so much fun to, have that warm glow of all the things. I was going somewhere with this and I just lost it. The warm glow of I was trying to be creative and it died.
It was beautiful while it lasted. Darwin, I just want to say pretty much the same thing. I'm so glad not only that we're doing the show again, but that you're back in my life because I have my best friend back.
Yay, me too.
Aww.
Yay. Aw. And one other thing, a special thank you to you, the listener. Thank you for listening to this podcast.
We really appreciate you being back. And I'm going to do a little Christmas pledge here. If you guys could hit like and hit subscribe and tell people that we're back, we'd really appreciate it.
That's a big thing. That's your gift to us.
That would
let
be
other people know about the show.
Huge gift to us.
And have a Merry Christmas. And we will be back in the new year. Ho, ho, ho.
All right. I'm going to go pop some rum balls. Merry Christmas, Darwin.
Merry Christmas, Kat.
New episodes, new stories. Visit darwinandcat.com.